much, Gloria. This was really totally unexpected. I just also want to say there are probably other people today is your birthday or your mom's birthday. Today is also United Nations Day, so we will celebrate that too along. Good afternoon, and Kathy, thank you for emceeing this event. So I would like to first thank Gwendolyn and the Board of Directors of YMCA and Pam and your staff for honoring me with this very prestigious Racial Justice Award. I want to also thank Gloria again, and my good friend, and also my board member, for nominating me. Receiving the award together with fellow Chicago Network members, Anne and Kathy and Therese, and also with Genevieve, is a real treat. Molly Sullivan asked me to tell my story. So as a senior citizen, I have a very long story. But I only have 4 minutes, I was told, so I better talk fast. And by the way, I hope you can see me. For those of you who are close to 5 feet will appreciate my problem here. But before I forget, I want to take a second to thank my colleagues at Castle. Some of them are here today, and my board, and my husband of 44 years, Albert, who's sitting next to Pam. Albert, stand up. And so without him, I couldn't do a lot of things I want to do. And also my many supporters. I see many are here today. I thank you for all your support throughout all the years. The award is also for you. I was born and raised in Hong Kong. When I was little, my mom, who was a one-woman champion of human rights, would entice me to eat some bitter melon. It is a real popular and delicious dish, Cantonese dish. By giving me candies, which she wisely suggested I put it in a jar, then give them away at a public hospital filled with poor patients. That was my first lesson on human rights and racial and social justice. As a young and rather naive social worker, I decided to work for East Chicago Heights, now called Fort Heights, an impoverished African-American community, as their only town social worker, because I believe in fighting against racial injustice. Most of the community residents have never seen an Asian, let alone an Asian woman. So I thought it was a treat for them, but it was a treat for me. So it was quite an experience. I had sort of an initiation. Each day, the youth from the community would bring me a different dish of soul food to try. I guess it is a way to test my acceptance of them. Little did they know that I loved all those dishes. So as one youth finally put it, don't mess with that lady, she's okay. During my 9 years there, I made many friends, brought much resources to the community, but more importantly, raised awareness of social and racial injustice for that community. For me, I gained a lot of friends and respect and experiences that were so important to my next step in my life, the founding of CASL, Chinese American Service League, with 9 friends. One of them is here today, Esther Wong, who is executive director. In 1979, we saw a void in the Chinese community. There was hardly any human services available to our residents. We hear of parents sending their babies to China to be taken care of by their grandparents and not seeing them again years later until they're ready to enter school, because there was just no affordable language and cultural appropriate childcare within reach. I encountered my first client in 1979, a frail, elderly gentleman who's just as short as I am, who was evicted because his apartment was condemned by the city. When I found him in an emergency shelter, he was hiding in a closet, frightened, not knowing what was happening to him, and with nobody to understand him. After much counseling and receiving resources that we put together, including several years of back pay in Social Security. Yes, he never knew that he could apply for Social Security. He regained his dignity, and he was smiling all the time. So you see, my friends and I believe that human potential is at its best when you give those living in the shadow a voice to be heard with dignity and respect. And when there are times when they cannot speak for themselves, like many of our new immigrants, we have to step forward to speak on their behalf. This reminds me of the quote from Pastor Martin Niemöller, quote, "In Germany, they came first for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist. And then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade unionist. And then they came for the Jews. I didn't speak up because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me. And by that time, there was no one left to speak up." Throughout my life work, I hear my mother's teaching and those of many others, like Margaret Mead, who said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has," unquote. Castle and its founders proved her right, just like the theme of today's luncheon, strong foundation and fearless future. Through our through our passion and commitment, we fought for social justice and racial justice and built a strong foundation. All the while, we are teaching ourselves and our community, especially our young generation, not to be fearful of the future. This is also what YMCA does and what Sojourner Truth did years ago, encouraging women and girls to break barriers, to embrace multiculturalism, to respect social and racial harmony. I salute your work, and I salute all of you. Thank you again for listening to my stories, and thank you again for the award. Have a good day.